guys, LongHaul Larry, and I'm in a shop working on 796. This is 796, going on down the list of repairs and stuff, and one of the things is the inverter that's in here. This is the inverter that was in here, and you might see a problem with it. It's a little melted, a little distorted. Don't think that's the safest thing. It still works. It's just all melted up and fried and stuff. I don't think that's too safe. So we're getting rid of that. And the boss bought a new one. It's right here. And this one's got a remote and everything, so I'm going to be mounting a remote in here. But I don't want to put it on the floor. The other one was mounted on the floor, and drivers, they'll put jugs of antifreeze or whatever in here, and they tip over and they leak and stuff. That could have been what happened. The other one, it could have got wet and then started frying, got it real hot. So I want to mount this one up off the ground, and I want to kind of put it up on the wall here. That way it's up out of the way, something spills over, it's not going to fry it. But there's not a spot to do it because that angle iron from the bench for the bed is there. So I made me up some brackets. So I bent up some metal, and I'm going to pop rivet that into place. And that there is the same depth as that there. And I'll be able to screw the two screws in from that. And then I'm going to pop rivet this piece of angle iron here over there, and I'll be able to screw onto there. Just slick a snot, I say. So I'm gonna get working on. You can see what I'm cooking here. I got a bracket built there. I got this here piece of angle iron. Go. That would go. There we go. Got a nice base to mount it on now. Clean up my mess, but she's all mounted in there, all nice and good. And I'll show you the remote. It's right there. Pretty good. So I gotta check the batteries. Oh, I'm doing something naughty. One of the batteries in here, this one here that was in here, tested out at like 250 cold cranking amps. All the rest of them are like 600 and something. So that batteries are actually still under warranty. So what the boss is going to do is I'm pulling them out, and we had this one over in a corner that I had pulled out of a truck, and it was actually good. There was 4 of them, and 2 of them were bad. 2 of them were about 600. And so we're going to put this one in here, and then he's going to take it down and turn the other one in for a warranty. But look at what this truck is, what it came out of. Can you see it? A Volvo. Oh boy. This truck's probably going to go in reverse now. If I put it in first, then it'll go backwards. But you can see I had tested this one when I pulled it out, and it was at 642 cold cranking amps. So we're going to put this one in there. And that should match up pretty good with the batteries that are in here. So I just got to put everything back together and then clean all the connections. There we go. We got all our batteries all hooked up again. Got everything cleaned up, everything sprayed protected. This is the APU on this one is not starting. I built a custom mount for the alternator. I guess it's the wrong alternator in there. I don't know. It was a 60 amp I pulled out of there. We had an extra 60 amp in the shop here. I put it in. Turns out he thinks it's the wrong one. He got a different one. So that's going to be my next job, is going through the alternator. This fuse was blown when I was trying to start it, and I replaced it. So now we got 12.5. So now we got the that breaker, that fuse there is working. So it is getting 12.5 there, but I tried starting it the last time and basically I found out that this was blown, so I put a pair of jumper cables across here. I hooked them here to here and kind of bypassed the fuse, and it still wouldn't start. So something's not right there, so I got to take a look at that APU and see if I can get that thing working. But this is all good to go now. You guys want to see if the remote's working, or the inverter's working? Let's go take a look. Alright guys, so there's our inverter, and we'll hit the remote button. There it is. Inverter is working. Alrighty. Awesome sauce. So now, I hate this because these trucks are not wired up like the new Volvos with outlets all over the place and stuff. It actually, you should put an outlet here. I didn't even think about that. I could have done that. But what I've done in my truck is I have an extension cord just like this. But I hate having the cord go through there and it smashes the cord like that. So what I did it just like in my truck. Don't tell the boss. I drilled a hole in there. And then I feed that through. And then I just take a piece of stuff here. And I just feed it around in there. Just like that. Just like so. And it doesn't cut the cord or anything, and the cord is not hanging out there and stuff and dangling around, and then you can run it up to a multiple plug or something. Should get like an outlet or something we can mount in these. Plug her back in. There we go. So that is awesome. So I gotta get the vacuum in here, I gotta clean all my tools out. I'm gonna clean this whole bottom part out here. But look at this awesomeness. This thing's actually running. This is the one that I built all the new brackets for the alternator, because the alternator fell off on the driver. And I came in here and the alternator was all bouncing around, blew the fuse in there, blah, blah, blah. And I rigged it all up, made it all work. We had a brand new 65 amp alternator sitting on the shelf here. That the boss bought for me, but I never used it. So I was able to clean out my connections, got mine working. And I put it in there and the thing would not start. We messed around with this. He looked at the serial number on the APU and looked it up, and it took a different alternator, and that's why it wouldn't start. Who would think that an alternator would make it not start? But she's running. She's an old one, but she's running. Well, I've been over every single fitting in this whole truck, and this is the only one. My spray bottle's messing. You guys can see it. This fitting right here. So I'm gonna drain all the air and change that fitting out. There, we got a new fitting on there. No more air bubbles. Awesome sauce. I got one more thing I gotta check. There's a squeal up there. I don't know if it's a belt tensioner or something, or an alternator or something. I gotta figure out. See if there's a bearing going out, something. Well, I've checked everything out. I've taken the belts off. I should have recorded. You can hear it. It's this here. It's your AC clutch. I don't know. This truck's been sitting for a while. I've never heard this before, the squeal before, the kind of noise on this truck. This truck's been sitting for a while, so it may just have some rust in there. It's not wobbly loose. I had the belts off and I had a breaker bar in one hand and moving the belts and checking all the pulleys and everything and spinning everything. And this is the AC clutch is what's making noise. But it's not wobbly or nothing, so I don't know if the bearings, I don't think the bearings on, I think it might just have rust in it. I'm going to let the boss know, and I think we just keep an eye on it. And if it starts getting noisier, then we'll just have to change out the AC clutch. That's not that hard. So I am done with this truck. The only thing I can't do on the list, I can't put the CB in because I don't have the power wire. There's a trucker coming tonight. The last time he was here, he actually grabbed my power wire. I saw him. He had 2 power wires. This here, the spare tire rack, I don't know. I really don't like this spare tire rack. I understand why he wants to carry one, but there's just no room. And this thing is just so honking big. And this thing's got this on it. It's supposed to... You put the tire in there and then you're supposed to spin this loose and then this is supposed to drop down. Well, you can't do that with these fairings. So this has no use whatsoever. I don't know what to do here. But the boss just said, we looked at it for a while and he was just like, just don't do it. He says, we'll think about it and do it some other time. So I'm all done here, so I'm going to let you guys go. I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night. So watch this here video. If you're not, then I certainly could try that all over again tomorrow.